Welcome back. My name is Donald. What I want to do today is to recap what I talked about in the first video and expand on that, as well as give you an outline of the scope of work that I hope to accomplish with the refurbishing of this Columbia 26. Since we had the first video, I got the mast off the boat, mast and boom, and I put it in my garage. This mast is going to be a summertime job, and it will be video number 4. And I wanted to quickly show you that the mast, I believe, was outside laying on the boat for 20 years. The boom is right here, and it's in much better condition. But what I need to do with the mast is remove and replace all of the running rigging. I also want to add 2 more halyards, a jib halyard and a main halyard, or topping lift halyard. So we can look at that in just a minute, but right here I wanted to show you quickly how easy prepping this mast is going to be after I take off the winches and cleats and blocks and tracks. So I don't have a mask on, but this is just going to be a minute, and I give you a quick feel. So that's awfully quick, and so this is going to be summertime work because you can't paint a mast except at 70 or so degrees, and it's too cold to paint it now. But I wanted to introduce you to the mast. The boom, on the other hand, the boom is in much better condition. It's dirty, but in short, I don't know how much easier it's going to be to prep it, but I don't think it should be too much trouble. Just taking all of the hardware off is probably going to be the biggest chore. Alright, so what I want to do is take this top off the mast and remove and replace the masthead light. I don't know if you can see it, but there's even water in it. So I'm going to replace the masthead light, and I'm going to put another jib halyard and a topping lift halyard in this hat on top of the mast. And I'm just going to clean it up and make it look brand new again. So these are the cushions that came out of the boat. They were in such poor condition, I took the material off and threw them away. But this is the backs of some of it, which I didn't take off, but I had someone look at them and give me a price to reupholster the cushions, and they said the foam is in good shape. So I'm going to get to that, and that will enhance the interior of the boat with brand new cushions. Okay, we're back at the mast, and what I'd like to do is give you an outline of the scope of work that I touched on briefly earlier. So basically this is video number 2, and it's a continuation of refurbishing a Columbia 26 Mark II and a more in-depth scope of work. And so therefore video 3 is going to concentrate on sanding below the water line, preparing the keel and painting it with either 2 coats of primer with 2 top coats, and then wet sanding the boat, as I mentioned in the previous video. The 4th video is sanding and painting of the mast and boom. Again, this is not video 4, but just an introduction to the mast, and it looks to be fairly easy to do. Video 5 is going to be removing and replacing all of the deck hardware, and after this part of the video we're going to go to the boat and show you the deck, and my son and I have begun taking some of the hardware off. Video 6 is just evaluating the hardware that's come off of the mast and or the deck and see what might need to be replaced. Video 7 is going to be the biggest part of this process, and that is sanding the hull and deck. And when I get to the boat, I'm going to show you what I want to do with the rub rail that goes around the boat. All Columbias have a certain type of rub rail that I have found hard to replace, so I think I've masterminded a way to enhance it or refurbish the rub rail without replacing it. Video 8 is going to actually be painting the hull and deck. That, I don't know the type of paint I'm using yet, or if I'm going to spray it or roll and tip it. So video 9 is going to be rewiring the boat as much as I need to. I don't think I'll rewire the mast, but I will put a new masthead light on it. And if I can, I'd like to try to put some spreader lights on this boat. So that's a possibility. But rewiring the boat to allow for a electric start, outboard motor, about a 9 horse, just rather not have to crank it. And so punching a button is a lot nicer. So that we'll go into more detail later. Video 10 is going to be reinstalling all of the hardware on the deck and in the boat. Video 11 will be major purchases. That will be the 8 to 9.5 outboard motor with electric start. And I don't think I'm going to need a long shaft engine. Haven't determined that for sure, but I think I may be able to get by with a short shaft, and that's what I would ideally like. So in addition to the motor purchase, big purchase would be sails, which I plan to buy you know, a new main and a 125 Genoa and 155 Genoa. And also planning to get a double track head stay, because as I said in the previous video, I wish to race the boat. And then you saw the foam cushions a moment ago, so those will be reconditioned. I'd also like to buy some electronics, navigation equipment, and all sorts of things that might help me maneuver the boat better and race. And then of course buying the necessary safety gear. In the previous video that I talked to you about the forward hatch, and since then I've been able to remove the hatch from the boat, and I've disassembled it and sanded it, and this is the hatch that I talked about, putting a hatch within a hatch. And so this is getting ready for new varnish, and this is the top of it, which I'm going to remove and replace with some new plastic. And so this will be thrown away, but I'm going to use it as a template to have someone cut out a new sheet just like this, and place it back on the hatch. I'm also going to put brackets inside here to make it stronger and give it more integrity. And with that, let's go to this boat. In Well, we've made it to the boat, and what I wanted to do is to show you some of the hardware I'm going to take off the boat, which includes the mast step that's right here. Earlier today I took off three jib tracks, one here, one an extension, and then this one. So, and this is what it looks like before it comes off. So this is an extension to this track here. So, but what I'm going to do is take off the hatch and these railings, going to take out the windows, going to remove all of the stanchion leads and the winches back in the cockpit. I'm going to take this hatch off and these handrails, and that piece of plywood on the back of the boat is going to be covering the companionway. As I said in the previous video, I was concerned about refurbishing a boat that didn't have the integrity, and I had the boat surveyed, and the survey came out very favorably. There was one soft spot on the deck, and it's back out right here. I personally don't see it or feel it, but they tell me that's a soft spot. It's not structural, and as I indicated in the previous video, I may fix it or I may not fix it. Well, we're back inside the boat down below, and since the first video, I've spent quite a lot of time trying to clean up the cabin. I by hand with a scrub brush and soft scrub, which is a non-abrasive cleaner. I have wiped everything down thoroughly, and I think the boat looks tremendously better than it did in the first video. I do plan to come back and clean it one more time after I get all of the through hull fittings removed by replacing all of the hardware on the deck. I'm going to come in and give it a real strong cleaning, and then I'm going to wax it. And so in short, I think it will look awfully nice if I can get that done. But I want to get rid of these bolts and the rust stains, and clean it up in such a way that it has a reflection to it, and make it feel as clean as it can possibly be. I cleaned up the water tank, so that sort of was dirty earlier, and I cleaned up the floor. I mean, I'm on the floor on my hands and knees scrubbing for like 3 hours. So in short, I think the boat cleaned up awfully nice, but I'm not yet done. And won't you come to the forward cabin with me? So I don't know if you can see the reflection, but I think the gel coat inside is, if I waxed it, I think it would really come back to life. And so I'm very pleased at how the interior cleaned up with a little bit of elbow grease. And I was able to varnish some of the mahogany that I didn't want to take out or couldn't take out. So this is one piece that I varnished. And earlier, this was unvarnished as well. And so I think this has 6 coats of varnish on it. And I think it turned out beautifully. And I've been oiling the paneling. I don't want to paint that. I would rather it stay like the original. And so with that, we'll keep working, and I'll keep you up to speed on how things are progressing. If you like this, please click the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video.